And now we're at the third part of the 10-part series of the review of the Pacific. The Battle of Guadalcanal is over. The Marines arrive at Melbourne for some well-deserved rest. The Battle of Guadalcanal was to make sure the Japanese wouldn't cut off the Australian supply lines, and if they would have been cut off, the people of Australia would have starved. So the Marines are seen as the saviors of Australia. The amount of praises they get are a big surprise to them. They're stationed at a cricket stadium, but realize that the MP, the military police, kind of just gave up on keeping them there, so they all hit the streets. So the Marines do what probably anyone that's been in a war would do. Drink and drink some more. The Marine tries to forget what they've been through and also honor dead friends. I'd say this episode focuses a lot on character development as Lecky falls in love with a local girl, Stella, and quickly gets in a relationship with her. But not only with her family and friends too. And in the meantime, Jan Basilone gets to know that he's to be awarded the Medal of Honor, the greatest award you can get as a military in the United States. But he's conflicted as he does not feel like he deserves it. Now he also has to act like it, which means he can't fool around and act like he used to.
Saddle up, partner. Stealing an MP's Jeep, are you kidding me? Come on, I'll hop in.
You can't do this shit, John. Not now.
Remember what Chesty told you.
Don't screw this up.
And Robert gets attached to Stella's family and helps him out with different tasks, like clearing out the roof and different tasks. And at this moment, he starts to dream of living a normal life. But he's thrown back into the reality of war, when they get the news of a neighbor's son's death. It's a big hit for Stella's mother, as she's lost so much already, and for Stella, as she was a close friend. And Lecky having to return for exercise, both are separated and given time to think. Lecky feels as this is what he's fighting for, but for her, she knows the risks. The end of Lecky and Stella's relationship hits like a punch in the gut. Intellectually, Lecky understands that war makes their temporary romances that Stella and he live on completely separate continents, and likely would not have met but for the war. But when she breaks off with him and says that she won't be coming back together and that they won't be getting married or having kids, because she can't risk him dying and breaking her heart and her family's heart. Lecky has no other choice but to accept the situation. And to accept the situation, he gets drunk and eventually draws a weapon on an officer, and he's put to arrest along with one of his friends. During this time, Jan Basilone gets the news of that he's returning home to sell and promote war bonds. But this means he has to leave his best friend and his fellow Marines behind. And that's a hard thing to do. After Lecky's released from arrest, he gets the news that they're moving out, leaving Melbourne. But he's reassigned, which means he won't be with his friends of what he did.
You booting us?
No, not you. Lecky.
I really don't have much to say about this episode, as it is a very character-driven episode. Most people seem to criticize this episode that it's boring or slow, but I feel that this episode also shows what the people think of the war and what the overall attitude is. It also shows on how the characters handle loss and explores the idea of that many saw the soldiers as expendable, that they will eventually die. So in the end, they're all leaving with a bad experience. So this episode leaves you thinking, maybe they should have never gone to Melbourne in the first place.